And welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name is John.
And I'm Kim.
And we thank you for stopping by on a Monday night. And you may notice our set is a little different. We're on location.
We are on location, and we're not going to tell you where.
Yes, I know some of you may know, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it tomorrow and hopefully have a little bit of fun with it.
Yes.
But for now, tonight, we'll just start with news.
Yes, we'll just start with
news. And want to start off on a little bit. Last week, as you know, there was, as many of you may know, there was an escaped prisoner from the Sierra Conservation Center in Jamestown. There was some speculation that he had broken into a Lake Tulloch area business in Copperopolis. When we spoke with officials at CDC officials last week, they didn't think the Lake Tulloch one was their guy.
That was actually just over the weekend, I believe, wasn't it? On the 19th.
Yeah. And there was one other sighting over in the Tuolumne City area.
Yes.
That didn't pan out, and typically what they had told us on Friday, it looks like they're abandoning at least the local search, so they'll move more into a statewide level. And at least as we understand it, they are calling off the locally focused search.
The trail may be going stale.
The trail may be going stale.
Well, we don't want to make a joke about it. But
anyway.
So they don't believe he's any longer in our area. Correct?
Yeah, and but typically on those, they do get most of these guys, though. They typically do. So anyway, just wanted to start off with one little thing on that. And another one last night, if you were following local traffic news, there was and luckily there was only, well, I'm not saying luckily, but there were moderate injuries, but luckily they were not more severe than that. And what happened, there was a 23-year-old McCollum Hill man that was, now the reason we're talking about this is not to glorify the accident, but just to remind us that now after July 1st, we're supposed to be hands-free.
Yes.
All right, here we go. And we better tell a little bit about the accident. The accident was a single vehicle rolled over several times.
Yes.
And here's what happened. He was on southbound on Highway State 49 at 55 miles per hour when, due to his inattention, attempting to answer a handheld cell phone, which was ringing within the driver's compartment. Reaching around, where's that phone's got to be around here somewhere. All right. He allowed his vehicle to travel to the right off the paved portion of the roadway while attempting to negotiate a natural curve. He traveled down a steep embankment, overturned, then struck two wires fence posts. After the collision, V1 came to rest on its wheels, facing the northerly direction off the roadway down the embankment.
Okay.
So, yes, we hope he gets better from his injuries.
I think he will. Now, where was he transported?
He was taken to Mark Twain.
At least he wasn't flown out. That's kind of good news.
But also it is a reminder.
Yes.
So my wife is trying to get to master, for most of you in the audience now probably have like a Bluetooth headset.
Yes,
and she's trying to get the knack of like going, hello?
No, I'm trying to figure out how to put it on my ear.
Okay. Then you have to answer. You have to answer the call.
So I'd rather not use the phone at all.
So if you see her over here, instead of tapping it, if she's like going like this, that makes it no.
I don't like gadgets like that. I don't like fancy gadgets. And I caught myself actually using my cell phone the other day, and I forgot. My son reminded me. I better be quiet. I don't want to get arrested.
So you may work for a web company, but you're not high tech.
No, I'm not. My son reminded me, "Mommy, you're not supposed to be on the phone." I had completely forgotten.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And I think Kim's going to talk about the fun event.
Yes, we had the 60th annual Murphy's Homecoming this weekend on Friday. Started off Friday night with some live music in the park and food. And then on Saturday it continued with the shade sail dedication for the playground. I believe that happened around noon. Then they had the rubber ducky races.
Right.
And they had all kinds of fun. Let me see. The shade sails, we'll actually talk about those first. A series of shade sails fabricated in Australia have been installed in the Murphy's Community Park and were dedicated at 1 p.m. on Saturday, July 19th during Murphy's Homecoming. Designed to shield the climbing and sliding apparatus in the children's play area from the summer sun. The sails were purchased and erected by the Murphy's Community Club under the direction of board member Mark Skenfield.
So one of the 10 coolest small towns now has cool kids?
Yes, exactly.
Or cool playground equipment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
everybody's going, okay, John.
So let me see. Hundreds of people came to celebrate the 60th annual Murphy's Homecoming presented by the Murphy's Community Club. Festivities were held in the Murphys Community Park. The celebration began on Friday night where the Geezers Band played a joyful mix of jazz songs while locals enjoyed a picnic dinner in the park. I'm sure locals and tourists both, right?
Probably.
Guests were treated to tasteful hors d'oeuvres by the community club.
Tasteful
and
hors d'oeuvres.
Hannah Aldrin went out and covered this for us, and she took lots
Some
and
great
lots
photos.
of great photos.
Great photos. Great job, Hannah.
Yes,
Thank you.
Of the duck races and all the vendors and all the kids in the water. Some really good pictures there, and all of the pretty, pretty sails, the shade sails. Right?
Yeah.
This is actually the first year we've missed it.
I know.
It's in Pine Tree
We
history.
were on location.
Yes, we were on location. Pine Tree
At
history.
a soon-to-be disclosed.
Yes, soon to be exciting, disclosed location, correct?
Oh, yeah. And they're like, but what if we don't care to know? Right?
Okay. But they do. They want to know where, kind of like that, like where is Matt Lauer?
Yeah, that we were thinking,
Now,
like
where
Matt Lauer.
are Kim and John? Of course, he goes to, like, exotic places, right? Doesn't he?
Right. We were like, he's all these exotic places, and we were like, maybe like live at Motel 6 or something like that. But
which we have the first night. It wasn't live, but we did take some photos.
Yeah. So it's for our audience, for the PineTree.net, and also for local, nothing but the best, right?
Nothing but the best.
Yes,
for the
on
Hamiltons.
location.
Yes.
This is strictly a high dollar affair,
yes.
right?
And it was a smoking room to top it off.
Yeah, that's another story.
Which I don't mind people that smoke. It's just that the room smelled like smoke, and that was little kind of yucky. But it was late at night, and we didn't care, did we? Where we stayed, as long as we had a bed to sleep in, right? It was only the best for his wife and kids.
All right, a little bit of fire news. There was a small spot fire in Arnold, and there was a couple other ones as well. I want to mention this one because typically when there's fires up in the forest area, people tend to get a little bit twitchier.
They do.
Because I was going,
this one was very small, 0.3 acres.
0.3 acres, and it was a burning slash pile.
What exactly does that mean?
Okay, if you're logging,
I read that. And I'm like, what does this mean?
If you're logging, there's all there's the branches, there's all the other stuff that you put off to the side after you cleaned up the.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Because when I talked to Cal Fire, they thought it was a burning deck.
It was a burning pile.
So it was a burning pile. 0.3 acres, which is very
minute. You might be able to use the pile as a deck.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, anyway, so luckily they got on top of it. If you're interested, they threw quite a bit of resources at it. They had AirTac 240, Copter 404, 410, Tanker 170.
It was a warm day.
Now, so basically had one of like 5 air assets. Arnold Battalion Chief from EPFD.
Yes.
And with engine 4414, engine 4450, engine 4460, and the Murphy's engine 4452. There was 3 Vallecito hand crews.
Okay.
And Cal Fire Academy Prevention 5523.
Okay. No injuries. There was another fire this morning. Did you hear about that one? At Carson Hill Mine Quarry.
Yeah, this one caused some damage as far as
dollar
volume.
$20,000 in damages. The cause is undetermined, but there was a fire out at Carson Hill Mine Quarry, and the damages were actually a generator that burned.
And it wasn't the Mythbusters.
No, it wasn't them. They weren't out there blowing anything up.
So they didn't blow the generator up?
No. So the generator was apparently worth around $20,000. So that's quite a lot. That's actually one of the biggest ones we've seen in a while for fires. Right? There was an escaped campfire burn that luckily was only 1 acre of grass vegetation in McCollum Hill. Yeah, I think that's all the fire news we have.
That's
right?
it?
I think.
All
I
right.
so.
Well, maybe the highlight ones.
The highlight.
Now,
yes.
I know this is normally not our preview stuff, but coming up on Wednesdays, the Blue Shoes is coming into Murphy's.
Yes, the Blue Shoes. This is part of the Music in the Parks. Calaveras Arts Council proudly presents
Blue Shoes.
Blue Shoes. And I've heard they are very. Actually,
they're good. They're good. They're a lot of fun.
Good. Yes,
they are a lot of fun.
Join in the fun this Wednesday evening at 6:30.
Yep. And
6:30 to 8.
Blue Shoes will not make you blue.
No, they will not. Will make you happy.
All right, and also a little bit of preview piece before we get into some of the meatier subjects of the evening. If there will be a family outdoor rock climbing adventure, July 26th through on August 9th.
This is actually really cool. This is put on by Mountain Adventure Seminars.
Yeah.
And they will be. Why don't you go ahead and read it?
This summer is a great time to treat your family to a day of outdoor rock climbing in the beautiful setting of Bear Valley.
Yes.
Located at 7,000 feet, this special program is designed for youth and their families, affordable way to expose your family to thrills of outdoor rock climbing in a safe, supportive environment. So,
and isn't it a coincidence? This is also the day of the Bear Valley Music Festival opening.
No way.
Yes.
So that way they can
do that during the day, and then that evening they can go to the Bear Valley Music Festival, right? Go over to the Bear Valley Art Show. Yes.
Nice.
Go see the tribute to Frankie Valli, right?
Oh, what a night.
Yes. Starts the 26th.
Late December.
So spend the whole day in Bear Valley, if you'd like. George Thorogood is also coming, though, this weekend.
And we're going to put a piece up on Charlie Musselwhite tomorrow.
Yes, we
now,
are.
Charlie Musselwhite, it's a good one because he has some great blues stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and the nice thing about this is, if the economy's not doing so good, if you've been following county government and that has you depressed,
yes,
right? You can always just go to a great concert.
Yes.
Because going to hear the blues actually makes you feel better.
But now, the Bear Valley one is Saturday night, and then the George Thorogood is Sunday night, correct? They're not doing them on the same night, right?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, we actually saw them last year, and they are very good.
Classic?
Yes.
All right.
Let me see. So.
Here, you better not click around.
I'm not clicking around.
We're in a diminished speed connection.
Yes, we are. I'm not clicking around. I wasn't going to.
She loves it when I tell her stuff like that.
The U.S. Forest Service announced something kind of interesting today. They announced that the Bear Valley Mountain Resort Improvement Projects will be holding their public meeting. The Forest Service today announced that a public meeting to present proposed improvement projects at the Bear Valley Mountain Resort will take place Saturday, August 2nd at 10 a.m. Sorry about that, not 10 p.m. That's kind of late.
They do party a lot.
Yes, they do.
So maybe everybody can spend a little time at the lodge. And
the meeting location is in the Bear Valley Lodge in the town of Bear Valley. The Stanislaus National Forest, in cooperation with Bear Valley Mountain Resort, will discuss a proposal to install a new lift between the ski area and the town of Bear Valley, improve service facilities, expand parking, modify terrain on several ski trails to improve beginner skier capacity, and open approximately 114 acres of new skiing opportunities in the East Bowl area.
The East Bowl.
So mark your calendars if you're interested in that.
All right, and to move on
to government news.
The weightier news of the day. Now, if you've been hiding under the proverbial rock and haven't been following county government for the last few weeks, this is a subject that, well, we'll just straight off. Basically, if you remember, the Calaveras County Board of Supervisors, after last week's Board of Supervisors meeting, held a series of closed sessions. And on Friday night, they did come to a decision to accept the resignation of CDA Director Stephanie Moreno. And one of the things is we wanted to say a little bit is this has been such a strident issue. I mean, there's been people, really, and in some ways, this is one thing we all need to remember is this is somebody's career. These are somebody's, this is not, I know there's been a lot of frustration about the county's economy, and our personal feelings, on this one is I think that maybe Miss Moreno was saddled with a job that was bigger than she could, because it was updating the general plan, plus combining the departments, plus all the other stuff. So, and I think that the point is now is I think for a lot of people is once this decision has been made, then let's get on with doing the economy for the county. So because that's the main thing is there's a lot of people tough financial times. They have to make, we have to do some things to run the economy forward. So, and we're going to read this verbatim. This is the statement from Supervisor Chair Steve Walensky, and this is on accepting the resignation of Stephanie Moreno. And as we understand, this is going to be the sole official communication on this matter. There may be some public records requests and everything else to try to find more additional details about her dismissal or her resignation.
It wasn't a dismissal,
right?
It's resignation.
But they're probably going to be fairly closed-lipped on this. So, but there may be some statements out on it tomorrow at the Board of Supes meeting, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The Calaveras County Board of Supervisors has accepted the resignation of Stephanie Moreno as its Director of Community Development effective August 1, 2008. Board of Supervisors Chair Steve Walensky issued the county's sole statement on the matter. Ms. Moreno came to the county during a period of considerable upheaval and organizational change in the county's land use functions. Her service in the face of multiple challenges was marked by the highest levels of energy, diligence, and ingenuity. During Ms. Moreno's tenure, the county's community development agency, created from a previously separate functions of planning, building, and code enforcement, went through its initial growth pains. The county's transition to a new paradigm has necessitated ongoing adjustments for county staff and customers. Ms. Moreno's commitment as an agent of change on behalf of her department was beyond question. Ms. Moreno provided key decision support to the Board of Supervisors in defining the county's approach to developing a new general plan, led the department into the general plan process. Ms. Moreno demonstrated a refreshing willingness to discuss the department and its issues with groups representing all points in the land use spectrum. Under every circumstance, Ms. Moreno has been unstinting in her dedication to the tasks at hand. Given multiple priorities, Ms. Moreno focused on all as if each were the only matter for which she was responsible. Her appearances before the Board of Supervisors have been marked with extensive preparation and with thorough responses to all questions and comments. The county agrees that Ms. Moreno's resume was found to be accurate and true, that her previous employment and nature of the duties represented have been verified as accurate, and that the hostile work environment complaint filed against Ms. Moreno during her employment with the county were deemed unsubstantiated under the county's unlawful discrimination harassment policy. Given her intelligence, she may join. We wish her every success in all future endeavors.
Okay.
And that's the statement from the county on...
Steve Walensky.
Supervisor Chair Steve Walensky on Stephanie Moreno's resignation.
All right.
And her resignation is effective August 1st.
Yes. And there is a Board of Supervisors meeting tomorrow. We're back in action tomorrow morning for their regular meeting at 9 a.m. One of the big agenda items tomorrow is the lake. They're having a public hearing on the Lake Tulloch Resort.
So this is their regular meeting,
Yes,
as opposed to a irregular meeting?
As opposed to a closed session. It's a regular meeting. They're
So
back in action tomorrow with their regular scheduled meeting at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
So it's not a regularity issue?
No, it's not. And one of the big agenda items, like I said, is they are having a public hearing on the what's that project called? Villa del Lago?
Vista del Lago.
Vista del Lago, yes.
And these are the ones where they may build with part of them actually over the top of the lake.
We actually have the full packet regarding the public hearing on the website, and we also have the full board packet for you to take a gander at.
And this is great reading fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I didn't check to see how many pages. I don't remember how many pages the board packet was.
We didn't look this. Yeah, we should. But anyway.
I just don't remember how many pages it was when I was looking at it.
Some of these can run over 500.
Yes, they can. So that is the big thing on the agenda tomorrow.
You know, in some of the commercials where they always say, you know, you're supposed to eat like a soup, like an NFL star or something. If you read the board packet, you too can read like a supervisor.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There will also be a resolution approving Second Amendment to SEI Solid Waste Incorporated, Solid Waste Collection and Hauling Permit Agreement. Also a minute order authorizing the Health Services Agency Director to sign the policy compliance and certification form for the fiscal year 2008-2009 annual funding application for the Maternal, Child, and Adolescent Health Program in the amount not to exceed $148,960. And one more thing, a resolution item authorizing temporary transfers to Calaveras County General Fund, if needed, to meet the 2008-2009 operating expenses.
If needed.
If needed.
There you go.
All right. So, that is the Board of Supervisors meeting tomorrow.
And also, there was, over the weekend, go back to a little bit of fun stuff, away from the heavy
news.
Are you
going to talk Mountain Ranch?
We are.
I'm going to talk
And we'd like to thank Larry Vile he has sent us a wonderful video clip, which we'll have up on the site later. And if you're watching this on cable, it's Tammy Beilstein, Larry Vile, of What's She Up To Now fame.
Yes,
right?
okay.
Okay, anyway, he sent us this little note on the Mountain Ranch Music Festival. And I guess we can talk price in past tense, can't we?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
We're gonna wing it, because we're not trying to get people to buy something.
No,
because if this is broadcast on cable as well, you got to be careful, because we can't try to get people to purchase something,
No,
right?
you can't. You're
Okay,
right.
here we go. This is past tense.
Yes.
So, all right. With a $5 admission price, it was truly one of the very best musical entertainment values of the summer. KDQ Productions really outdid themselves this year and brought together a fantastic collection of talented local bands representing various styles of music. This festival seems destined to grow into a bigger event, as each year the quality of the bands that perform is just getting better and better. Jeremy Norris, a local musician who has played guitar for over 20 years, formerly the lead guitarist for the Wingnut Adams Band. Thrilled audience with those high-energy guitar licks. Alma Melodosia, with their original Latin sound, they're a lot of fun.
Did they have their groupies with them? We don't know.
They may have. I mean, they can bring their own groupies,
Yes.
belly dancers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They can bring a whole party with them.
Right.
All right. Anyway, you want me to stop? Oh, okay. High energy Latin sound. And then Stratus Age of Iron put together a had really nice heavy metal show. Would easily, because charged a lot more at a bigger venue, and there was microbrews, good beer. So it was a very
Good food.
very good show. So
Yes.
good job, KDQ.
Yes, good job. And the City of Angels Camp is still looking for a new planning commissioner. So if you're interested, you may stop by the City of Angels Camp office and pick up an appointment form.
You do have to be an Angels Camp resident,
Yes, you do.
or now would be a good time to move to Angels
Yes,
Camp.
if you're
Just
interested.
you think,
They do have one candidate, very good candidate, Jim Darby, right?
right?
But they'd like to have, I guess, one other before the 30 days are
And
up.
we understand that Kathy Masafero is taking a job in Angels Camp at a
Okay.
bank there.
Oh, okay.
So since we understand the supervisor's run is
Okay.
out right now,
Okay.
if she moves to Angel Camp, she could apply for the planning commission
Is she
job.
going to?
I
Did you hear
don't
that?
think so.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, is that way she could, right?
Okay, yes. Yes, she could.
Kim's like going, where are you going with
No,
this?
I didn't realize she was moving to Angels Camp.
No, I thought we understood she was taking a...
Yes, she is. She already
position.
did. She already took
Yes.
the position a couple
So,
weeks ago, actually.
All right.
The COG is reminding you again to share, please.
I have a problem with that.
John doesn't like to share anything. He doesn't like to
I
share
don't?
drinks, food, nothing. He's not one of those. He doesn't have that Italian in him where you like to share all your food and drinks. And he always wants the bigger. If we go to get ice cream, if one's bigger, he takes the bigger one. Or
I do?
yes, for example, you did that today.
Well, I'm bigger than you are.
You did that today.
She misunderstood that.
Don't-
We had an ice cream cone.
Doesn't matter.
No, we better say it. Now, we got ice cream cones, like the Frosty cones, right, for the kids. And these are the ones that if you've ever dipped them, these are like the chocolate dipped ones. And remembering from my childhood, there was nothing worse than having to hold two cones because they drip.
Yes, they do.
And having them run all that. So I was running back to the line there to make sure that she didn't have to have drips running down her hand. She understood it as that I was worried that I might not get my cone.
but I didn't have mine yet. I had to wait for mine. Remember?
How was I supposed
you
to
came
know
running
that?
in and got yours. And I went, they
How was
just
I supposed to know?
Oh, John, you're just not a giver when it comes to food or
How was I supposed to know?
just
All right?
admit it. So
Okay.
anyway, the COG is reminding you to share. What with skyrocketing gas prices, they would like to remind everyone that there are money-saving alternatives available for getting around. One way to save money is to ride the bus. The Calaveras Transit bus traverses the county throughout the day and also travels to Lodi 4 times a day. And we have the information on the costs and all that on our website. And this article was sent in to us by Renee Chapman.
right.
She's actually with the Foothill.
She's with Foothill Rideshare.
Yes, she is.
Ah,
With Foothill Rideshare.
Foothill Rideshare.
Yes, they're the ones with the cool new car, right?
It is the wrapped cool car.
Yes.
All right, and on the Calaveras Enterprises site today, they were featuring the mural project, the Calaveras Government Center. So if you're going to the Government Center,
Yes.
there's a really cool building, which they've kind of done as a really nice mural.
Yes, very
And
pretty. They are painting a new one, right?
And I think my wife had chided me because I went past this great building and I didn't take a picture.
That's right, I did.
So,
Well, because you're always running from one place to the other. It's hard to remember
and
everything,
I should
isn't
have
it?
taken a picture.
Yes, that's all right. You're
And
not
I'm
in
sorry.
trouble.
I might be.
You're not in
All right.
trouble.
Can I touch a couple minutes
Yes, I
on
think
national
we need
news?
to because we are.
Can I?
Yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
I have to ask permission because
No, you don't.
I do. All right, if you're looking at following national news, Senator John McCain and the presumptive Republican nominee may announce his VP pick this
Okay.
week. And kind of an interesting thing.
Who are they saying they think it's going to be?
Oh,
I haven't
boy.
been following national news
You
at
know,
all.
you
Who do you think?
sometimes these are surprising because sometimes they pick somebody out of left field that they think will shore them up. You know, obviously Romney's been mentioned again, and because he don't know, you don't know.
All right.
All right, and also the interesting thing on. If you've been following, Barack Obama has been traveling overseas to Iraq. He's been getting kind of the rock star, the rolling, and you know they have all the network news. The network news anchors have been following him, and we're going to follow him.
Yes, but we
But
we had to go on location.
we had
Yes.
we had to go to camp.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
anyway.
did.
Um,
Yeah.
So you know sometimes we didn't. Right? I
Yes.
mean, we you know we were going to take the whole PineTree.net Calaveras County News Roadshow to Iraq, Afghanistan,
Yes.
but
We had to go to camp.
We had to go to
instead,
camp,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
all right. But anyway,
Continue on, please, with this national news.
oh, there is Hello Dolly, the first hurricane of the season is issued. Hurricane warning is issued for
Wow,
Texas
already?
and the Mexico
Okay.
coast. She's still technically a tropical storm,
And they're
but it
naming
may
her
actually
Dolly?
be the first.
Okay.
And I know I've gotten in trouble with my wife for this, but I think it's appropriate for storms to be named after women.
You think so? Huh?
Yes, and now
All
I'm
right.
gonna yes. All right, okay.
Now they're talking about that Obama and Bush are actually agreeing on something.
Yes. Now this is an interesting thing for those of you. You know, there's many opinions on whether we should have gone into Iraq the way we did and everything else, but there seems to be some agreement from almost everybody
Okay.
that Iraq is actually going very well. Afghanistan is actually having a few more problems as of late. And even Barack Obama and George Bush are agreeing that now might be a good time to start looking at phased withdrawals
Yes.
at some point from Iraq.
Yes.
So, you know, things are interesting if President Bush and
They actually agree on
Barack,
something.
they're agreeing.
And that's actually this week's poll. So you can go up there and take a look at our poll, and it's
This is the
on
poll.
that.
Oh.
Yes, on that
okay.
subject.
All right.
Do you think the war is over?
Or should they declare
should
victory?
Should they declare victory? Yes, exactly.
Did we win it?
Yes, did we win the war?
It's a little risky because you remember when George Bush landed on that carrier and said the
Yes.
war
Yes.
was over?
Yes, and it wasn't.
That didn't go too well.
No.
All right, so, and now it looks like it's don't eat jalapenos.
Okay.
So the tomatoes are okay, and they probably never had a problem.
No.
Now it looks like the jalapeno pepper contaminated with a strain of salmonella is the culprit that has sickened more than 1,200 people.
Okay, okay. I don't eat jalapenos anyway, so I don't have to worry
You're
about
not very spicy?
it. No, well, I'm spicy. I just don't eat jalapenos.
All right.
All right. So how about weather for Calaveras County? Are we doing weather? I've heard the weather is beautiful.
I can't get to it
I've heard it's perfect.
because I can't get to
Okay,
it because
well, we're not going to talk about
because
it then.
we're on a slower speed connection.
Yes,
so-
we are. It's hard to find a place to stay that has internet when you're traveling.
Is it?
Yes, it is. You know, our grand adventure, a big travel
Yeah, because
abroad.
for traveling reporters for the Pine Tree is kind of an interesting experience because you can leave home, but you can never really leave
No, you've still got to work.
because it was
still
kind of
gotta have
like we
internet.
never left, wasn't it?
No, we're in different. It feels different.
Okay, but I mean,
Yes.
working today.
But I heard it's beautiful back home. Yes, it did feel like we never left today. We were still working. The phone was still
working
ringing
the
all
phones,
day.
and we got to go.
And we got to go. We'll
Have a
see
good
you
night.
tomorrow
We'll see you tomorrow
night.
night with
Thank
some
you.
fun stuff.
Yes, thank
Good night.
you. Good night.